Well, how you doing this morning, bro?
We are good this morning, Michelle. Cameras are back up, so
Yeah, see,
we're here.
damn
We're
it.
here.
Well, you saw him yesterday, so now come back to me.
What you say? You saw him yesterday, so
Yeah,
now come back
come
to
back to
me.
me. Come back to me. I'm ready.
Look,
Yeah, let this morning be about Jermaine.
really the whole morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
You know,
now.
this
I'm
is
praying for his
close.
healing,
Hey,
his
you know,
deliverance.
you know.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No,
Ain't nobody
actually,
got time.
actually,
What
you know.
man? No, I don't know.
Well, I got a couple things, and then I'm gonna let you move on. 'Cause
Well, ooh, thank
I
you.
do not
Thank
want to
you.
delay.
Thank you for
Let you
letting me
Oh
move
my,
on.
yeah, I'm gonna let you move on. Amen, as they say in the church.
Oh my
Um,
God.
First of all, I would like to thank the staff of WNOV
For
for leaving me in the ship
they trust you.
yesterday, and I just want to let
Trust.
y'all
That's
know.
trust, bro.
I just want to let y'all know I
That you
let
were
y'all
gonna hold
down.
it down and not be asleep while we was.
Oh, I
gone.
was asleep. Oh, I was asleep. So thank you, WNOV staff, for leaving me here. I brought my bed,
Got your rest
my
out.
pillow, Tempur-Pedic too. I was in this joint snoozing. Oh, I was counting sheep. They was leaping over the thing.
Bringing
So
in the sheep.
yeah, man, I think it's about
Bringing
1,000
in the
sheep
sheep.
jumped over.
Really?
Yeah. So thank you,
So that's what you
WNOV.
decided to do.
Yeah,
With
I
the
figured
best
since
use of your time
I figured
was to
since
go to sleep
y'all didn't
while
want to
we
see
weren't
me,
here.
since y'all didn't want me to be there, since y'all designated me to be here,
I've
I
never,
said,
Are you?
I
I've
said I
never
might as well
heard
bring.
such
Hey, listen,
Are
man,
you
I brought
done?
whining.
I pulled my
Are
U-Haul
you
up right on
done?
the side.
Are you done?
Shell, I just want to tell you,
Such a
you know when
bitch.
you wear your hair like that, you know when you
What
when you
happened
wear,
when she wear her hair like
you know
that?
when you wear your hair like that, you know this is
Don't finish.
it's
No,
just
no, it's
you know,
okay.
it's just so
We-
fine, blow my mind. So
Oh
fine,
my
so
God.
fine,
And
blow
see,
my
you don't understand why you got left.
Can't carry him nowhere.
Can't take him nowhere.
You don't understand why you were
Oh,
left.
and last thing too. By the way,
I thought you was done.
I was, but I felt this in my spirit. It just bubbled up. It's
Uh-oh.
Sheba. For the
Did you say
preacher.
shea butter?
Yeah,
He
Sheba.
said shea butter. Shea butter.
That's my new tongue. For the Pastor Paris, God bless you. The people did hear you, and they did exactly what you told them to do.
What are you talking about?
Oh, they called in and rubbed it in my face how much fun they
what
had.
did Keith do?
Keith said, and for all
At the
you
remote
listeners, at
yesterday.
the remote, he said, call to the station and let Jermaine know how much fun you guys are having down here at Thrive on King. And the lines went nuts. It was almost as if Kamala Harris herself was here. The lines went nuts with all of the people calling, telling me how much fun they had seeing y'all. So, Brother Keith, when you come in here today,
Oh my.
my, what a day. A rejoicing it will be.
Well, stop
Okay.
being so vengeful.
Now that my heart has healed from all of the pain,
Really?
you can continue with the show.
Well, you know what? I want to thank you.
I want to thank you.
You know
You
that's
ain't the
my
only
jam.
one that want to thank you.
I want to thank you. But yeah, so just a quick moment. We did our live remote down at Thrive On yesterday. And first of all, to the listeners, community members that showed up, y'all, there were people in line at 5:30 in the morning. Debo was just showing me photographs, had brought their chairs and was sitting outside, posted up, waiting for the building to open. Uh, they came through there. It was thick. Folks everywhere. People now did hear was a little tit-tay
Yeah.
about folks' places in line.
Come back and see.
I heard, but little flare, but it was quickly resolved. People were able to move. They got it straightened out. But it was so cool to see the community show up in the way that they did. They were energetic. They was ready. They was ready for a good time, and all of the team except Jermaine was, in the building, ready to go.
Oh, shots fired.
And the shows, went very, very well. I want to say thank you to the folks that participated in my segment of the show. Adam Purcell from the Office of safe. I need to learn the name of that office. Wellness and safety. Um, State Senator Latanya Johnson came through on her way to Madison to talk about redistricting and the work that was, redistricting, about the reckless driving and the work that's being done around that legislation and things that are being proposed on that front, bills that are on the governor's desk. Um, then we ended up having, it was unscheduled. It was not scheduled that way, but that's the way we ended up doing it for the sake of time. We literally had a panel that included the Mayor Cavalier Johnson, the chief of police, Jeffrey Norman, and the sheriff of Milwaukee County, Danita Ball. And the fellas was cool, but the love was in the room for Danita. When I tell you, just to be able to see a woman, a Black woman in particular, in these roles, but then for that Diaz to have three of the most influential positions in this city be occupied by African Americans. And I love that they all had different moments in their remarks when they all said, no, we're going to keep it real today. And they talked about a variety of things. Primarily, we focused on the fiscal health of our city and talked about, the sheriff's office and how those things are going on. Keith Paris, during his segment, he had Pastor Kenneth Locke from Evolved Church, Pastor Jeremy Q. Henry over at Holy Redeemer, Pastor Redante Ashford, Infinite Church, and Michelle Pitts from the New Pitts Mortuary. Michelle Pitts Luckett, let me make sure I say that correctly. And so that was really cool. And then rounding out the day, Dr. Kwaku and Dr. Alicia Moutry. They had Tiffany Terry, Danielle Ramey, and Teresa Langdon. And so the conversations were interesting and people were engaged. And I just, we gave stuff away. And Lakeisha Myers rolled through for a second. She couldn't be there for the whole thing. She had to go to work. But she dropped off champagne for the staff and, wine and give away from her wine business that she has. So that was appreciated. But we got to see people that we talk to every day.
Why she couldn't bring me none?
We got your bottle, bro. We got you a bottle.
I feel better.
See, calm down. Calm down.
I'm picking everything.
Calm down. So it was a lot of work to all the vendors that were in the building, the sponsors, and I will get that list so we can thank people again. And literally, we had people saying, so when y'all doing this again? And we always turning around looking at them like, say what now?
I think y'all should do it again.
Do you?
Well, for numerous reasons, but no, seriously, I think y'all should. I think y'all should do it again because to have the community, first of all, standing outside waiting on y'all is telling y'all something right there. So that right there in itself is like, okay, well, maybe that we got something.
And just how people listen and pay attention, because literally when I walked in, as I got seated to do my show, people was yelling out from the audience, "Oh, I brushed my teeth."
see what I'm saying?
I was like, I was so caught off guard. I was ashamed. I was like, y'all, I ain't mean it for real. It was a commercial. People was looking at me. They was making a toothbrush like gestures. Oh, you weren't talking to me. I brushed my teeth. And so the sponsors, thank you, Debo, for bringing those to me. Holton Street Clinic, MATC Technical College, Milwaukee Area Technical College, Pitts, the New Pitts Mortuary, Anthem, Alzheimer's Association, Wisconsin Chapter, Versity, Matt Talbot, Recovery Services, Community Outreach Community Health Centers, Walnut Way, Medical College of Wisconsin, Cancer Center, Community Outreach and Engagement, City of Milwaukee, the Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Gingras, Thompson, and Watts. And so, again, they had space there for vendors, and people were able to have these conversations. So it was well attended, and you definitely understood how important it is for us to be able to have that hands-on contact with the community. And I love that people came in asking, is Al here? People was looking for me. What does he look like? So that part was really, really cool.
I was, when I was woke, You know, watching it on YouTube. It looked like the people was.
You know, we
having
got cameras in here.
I
right?
know. So they should have saw that whole Tempur-Pedic mattresses come up in here. I had two men in the truck and one in the car come in and help me bring it in. So it was really three people, but two was in the truck. But no, I mean, I was watching it, and it looked like, man, that the people was really enjoying themselves. They was dancing around.
They were cool. And, you know, and then so we got to be able to set it up because at some points, you know, we were asking audience questions, but because my show was tightly packed because of the guests that we had, I didn't really get to ask questions on that first one when I did the interview with Adam Parcells. So after that interview, it was people in the audience like, hey, we ain't gonna ask no questions. What's going on? Yeah. So I had to explain that to people. But yes, I was extremely thankful and appreciative of the community yesterday. Y'all showed up and showed out all day long. Showed up and showed out. We got some folks on the phone. Let's go to them.
Already.
Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, WNOV.
Good morning.
I was so happy yesterday and so satisfied I took off to attend. Just from the atmosphere, seeing you guys and how relatable you were in person. Wow. The clean bathroom that we had. I mean, everything from when you walked in. I thought I was the number one fan of WNOV. But when I saw that lady up there dancing, I just had to sit down. I couldn't match that. Wow. It was great meeting Miss Angela. Jermaine, I was looking at Debo to make sure all his Nike stuff and Adidas stuff, and it did. He looked good.
Yeah, it was kind of raised a little bit, so you know that's when it was made on 3rd and Key. So you got to pay attention to it now.
and the most, again, the most happiest I was more of our community. We stayed there through all those shows. It wasn't just coming to get no gift card and leaving, or eating the food and leaving. We stayed because the topics were interesting. My favorite was the ladies that had children that passed. That got me there. And then I thought Senator LaTanya Johnson, she did a really good interview in my opinion. Good. But I met some people that I wouldn't have normally met. And I think it was a great use of time. And I guess I'm the number 2 fan. Thank you, WNOV.
Thank you so much. And I'm so glad you were able to come hang out with us yesterday. We appreciate the support, sis. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and let me say good morning. Some folks are checking in. Shelby checks in. You know, Shelby don't live in Wisconsin. Shelby checks in on the regular. Hey, Shelby. Good morning, Dion. T. Ray. Terrence Ray came through yesterday.
Did he?
He is oh my God, he's the biggest baby. He came through. Oh no, he got you beat.
Ralph,
he got you beat.
Ralph Travis.
He came in. You know it's my birthday. No, Terrence. You know it's my birthday. Can I get a shout out? Am I on the stage? I mean, he is so funny. And he hit me up. He said he came to meet Meech himself yesterday.
See,
he was like, yeah. So that was funny. But we did have people. Sister Herrera, Ernie G's sister-in-law. Debo, what's my girl's name? He in the back. Ernie G's sister-in-law. I can't think of her name right now, but I'll think of it. She was up dancing. She gonna dance wherever she go. That's just her spirit. She gonna dance wherever she go. And so we had people. Christopher Pipkins, Christopher's Project. He was playing during the breaks. He was amazing.
Yeah, always.
What was the brother's name
Chris
who
Crane.
was singing? Chris Crane.
Chris Crane.
Moving the crowd for sure. Delectables by Donna. The food was excellent. Extremely well done. What'd you say?
My solo.
Who? Your solo.
It was so low I couldn't even
Look, dude, why they have a whole church service? What gospel song did y'all sing?
I will. Man, I was back here like, hey, yeah.
They sung the whole song.
Well, they was,
and people were standing up doing praise and worship. I was like,
y'all should have saw us back here.
You know, I was making faces. Look, Adeline said church was awesome.
Hey, y'all should have saw us back here. People said, what was we doing? We was back here picking cotton. Because listening to that, though, it sounded like
I was just watching like, okay, now how far they gonna go? Whole song.
I saw it.
Whole song.
And then everybody was doing rolls.
Everybody was singing, people standing up. I was like, okay, this was a whole Greater New Birth Church moment.
No, but what got me is at the end when Keith started singing. I said, boy, Keith is leading.
Dude, he had a whole his whole pastoral everything.
I started to go out to my car, bring my keyboard in, plug in,
he like because they were singing a little church song. They were seated when they first started.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he stood up. You know, like when they about to bring it on home.
The benediction.
And he stood. I said, "Oh, this nigga standing up."
He felt that thing.
He stood on up. I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." Adeline, I didn't see you down there. Talking about church was awesome. That's crazy.
Let me throw this at y'all.
I came. It was a nice setup, but I had to go to work. But I wanted to show my support. I did not see Adeline.
Yeah, Jermaine gonna be there next year because when we do the preaching, because we missed it yesterday. No sooner than Pastor Henry tried to tune up yesterday. A little taste, and we needed that keyboard down there.
Well, they did acapella okay though. They really did. So
man, I was back here, slayed in the spirit.
Well, I'm glad he was.
Yeah,
back here.
I was back here. I was
slayed in the sleep.
Yeah, that too.
And then it was funny. So this one brother, big old brother, he had said hey without like hey bro, how you doing? And then when he got ready to leave, he said, "Take it easy, Crispy." They was ready to fight. They was like, "What?" I said, "Just ignore him."
So, people, you didn't tell the people to.
I know what he's talking about.
Come back a chin.
But I will say this. But what I saw yesterday, on a more serious note, I saw Angela sitting side by side with the mayor, questioning and talking.
Wow.
To elected officials that you don't usually get the chance to
have
do
conversations with. Yeah.
And taking pictures and just different ones. It was just a great spirit about the room on yesterday.
I'm gonna tell you, when I looked over and I saw the kids taking pictures with the sheriff and the chief of police, I mean, when I say, Cece to my, not too much on my church, or whatever, Cece, she go to Greater New Birth.
Yeah, well, the only thing that was missing from New Birth service wasn't nobody running around the room.
Yeah, Doc, you got to be in shape.
Kicking off them shoes.
You got to be in shape, Jack.
Told you, I can't go there. They church be giving me PTSD.
Like, over your mark, it's set.
I be thinking somebody get robbed at Greater New Birth. Everybody start running. I'm like, man, I can't come to church here. He's giving me PTSD. I can't.
A lot of my peripherals.
I'm not
running.
I'm not used to this. I have to find that in between. I'm not quite New Testament.
You know how black people are.
New Testament.
One person run, we all run.
Yeah.
We found out why we're running later. But if you running, let's go.
I'm following you.
I didn't know what was happening at Greater New Birth when the folks started running. I was like, and then she ran out the side. So I said, "Is her car getting broken into? What the hell is going on?" What the hell is going on? I'm telling you, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. And then I can't come back here. Now this too much. This too much.
Hey, one time I brought one of my guys. I brought one of my guys to New Birth for the when they was having grace, and he wasn't used to the church. You know, he was a street dude.
You say he was a street dude.
He came. And boy, they got to going. Boy, they took off running. This dude stood up like.
When he had his thing, he had his strap with him.
He didn't know what was going on. He was like, "Dog, why everybody running?" At Afro Festival, when one person took off, everybody take off running. So he said, "Bro, I almost started following them and running. I didn't know what was going on."
The first time I was there,
I was crying.
And it happened, I was with DJ Hines and Mark Way.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
sitting in between them when the lady went outside. DJ Hines looked at me, he said, "It's all right."
Michelle like, "Why we still sitting here?
Should we follow her?"
Let me be cool. Let me be clear. You know I'm cool. So I ain't jumping nothing. But my body language changed, and DJ was like, "We
What the hell going on here?
We good."
Oh no!
But DJ couldn't help. He was laughing at me. He was like,
Look,
"We good."
If you would have saw my guy, look, y'all would have been on the floor. That cat jumped up.
But
like, he didn't know what was going on.
Hey, it's funny how you go from every church got a culture.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you go to New Testament, Pastor Malone got you over here doing, research, and you got to have a thesaurus, a Bible, a dictionary, and then you think when you say, God be with you, and you get to go home. He done gave you a homework assignment. Like, man, I ain't coming back to the church.
I'm not coming back to the church. They should have told me it was gonna be tests.
I'm not coming back here. I gotta find that middle of the road church.
I mean, I just think
just enough.
I
Be
think
sure
that
to come and join us at Jerusalem.
I think every
I've been
church.
to Jerusalem before.
No, you haven't been to.
I ain't been in a long time.
To this.
Oh, you ain't been to New Jerusalem.
No, I haven't been to New Jerusalem.
See, New Jerusalem is located.
No,
Hold on, brother.
Jerusalem.
Let me do my commercial for you.
Somebody said y'all make me sick.
See, they should let people know that when you come to these churches, hey, you got to be in shape, because like some of these churches, boy,
you should be
I
paying
just
a
need to know the
workout
culture of the
membership.
church, and if I know what once I knew what to expect, then I was ready to go. I'm cool.
Yeah,
but that first time, and I see y'all Greater New Birth people hitting me up. They got an attitude. I acting very church-like right now. I see these. Ricky Burton need to do his job over there. Y'all ain't acting very church-like right now.
Talk about my damn church.
Come see me if you want to. I bet you will run. I bet you.
I got some Greater New Birth people talking about pull up.
I bet you gonna run too.
No way.
I bet you.
They say they gonna pull up.
Oh, you just interpreted. They finna pull up.
They reversed it like, nah.
Hey, Clark, make sure this door right here is open so we can get out of here. We going out this way.
Greater New Gangsters. That's what y'all church sound like.
Pull up.
Look, now we gotta go to a commercial break.
Well, you got some callers, so you can take them first, since I didn't see y'all yesterday, and then we can go to the commercial.
All right, let me get these callers in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle. This is Angela.
Hey, Angela. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Yesterday was so fabulous. I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed everyone. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Pastor Locke, because he prayed for him and for me yesterday, and I'm just feeling so great this morning. I want to thank him so much.
Wow.
I mean, it just made me feel good.
Angela, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What happened? You coming by here to get streetcar on your?
Yeah, man, I was standing outside, man, with my suitcase, man.
Listen, let me handle that, Debo. You just ride your ride.
I didn't have to kick it up.
Me and him near. I already called my guy and told him yesterday what was going down with that. But anyway, then I hit him on who was talking about him, and I told him he better check him today too. I'm talking about Keith Pierce. He got to check and come. Don't do mine.
Thank you, Angela.
Don't do mine.
That's a whole
Angela.
That's a whole
Can you repeat that last part, please?
We're going back to Michelle.
Angela.
Yes, ma'am.
Calm down, back. It's all right. Don't let Debo take care. Don't let
She went there, man.
You've been listening long enough, Angela, to know not to let Debo take you there.
I'm not paying him no attention,
I
Michelle.
can't
I'm
tell
on you now.
I can't tell you.
She on you now. She on you now, she said.
I know I'm not on her in that matter. I'm trying to talk to you about yesterday. Forget what
Go
Debo
ahead,
talking about.
Go ahead.
So anyway,
Go ahead.
it was great. Everything was good, and I'm glad everybody stayed in their place when everything went haywire. But it all turned out fabulous. You did a great job, and everybody was nice. And thank everyone
Thank you so
for
much,
being
Angela.
there and supporting us.
We appreciate it. Thank you, sis. Appreciate the call. Debo, I can't stand
Debo,
you. I can't
That's
stand
what wants that. I'm gonna come pick my man up
Between
on my
him
new
and
scooter.
Keith, they the biggest pie stirrers you ever seen. Let me get this last call before we go to break. I can't stand this dude. He just Hey, hey, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In my capacity
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
as a member of Greater,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to call and say, get back up off the Greater New Shutdown.
In my capacity.
All right. There's somebody that ain't been there, baby, but it's okay. But I do
Somebody ain't been to church.
But that's my church.
Do they know?
Don't
Do
worry
they know
about it.
you're
Don't
still a
worry
member?
about it.
Do they know you're still a member?
Don't worry about it. Another 2 decades, I'm all right. But I need to
Do
tell
they
you
have
about
you
the
on the
time I
sick
went.
and shut-in list?
She said she want to tell us about the time she did go. What happened, baby?
That time she did go. Granny New Birthday seen this Negro in 2 years.
But that's still home.
It is my home.
Well,
But dog, when I went to Grady's birthday today, I went and I had Senator Russ Feingold with me. We were sitting like on the first couple rows.
Mr.
And when I
Judge.
tell you, they got up and ran. And I think that day I got up and ran too.
oh no!
And if that wasn't the day I ran, the day that Feingold saw people ran, he looked like he was a deer in headlights.
What's going on? What am I supposed to do?
He was like, oh my God. And then I don't remember when it was, but one of them times I was running for office and I ran in the church. Why somebody call the church and ask if the video?
What?
Why somebody do what?
Yeah,
They called her out for the video of her running.
ask for the video.
They asked for
Are
the
you
And the
video.
church
serious?
said, yeah, we don't take, we're not trying to take, like the people's praise. We take the pastor, preach it, but yeah, so it is an experience for people, church and unchurched, and definitely for political people that come in, it was like a deer in the headlight experience for people. And Feingold was the funny. Without a doubt. So back up off of Gordon Newberg. That's where I got all of what I needed to continue to do what I was doing for 2 decades. Okay?
All right.
God
That's a
is good.
testimony.
And it was
God is
good to
good.
see y'all. I wasn't able to be there, but I watched some of it before I went to the judicial training and we were on break. And it just looked like everybody was having a great, great time. And I loved the part of the interview that I saw with the mayor, the police chief, and the sheriff. And I really hated I couldn't see the whole thing. I was hoping that we were going to get into some more discussion, with her about what was happening. And I wanted to hear what she said. But it looked like they was having a good time up there, too.
Yeah, I was
So,
like,
like,
I was actually, when I was looking down at the mayor and, the chief and the sheriff, you could see like a degree of comfortableness and camaraderie and laughter. And I just appreciated that. I was like these are moments the public doesn't get to see often or not nearly enough. So yes, ma'am, we had the same view. Same
the
thing.
police chief told you, he said, yeah, I wouldn't be here, Michelle.
Oh, yeah. And he ain't playing. He ain't
I
playing.
know. That's why I said.
That's one thing about Jeff Norman. You're going to get straight no chaser. He wasn't playing. If me and this dude didn't work well and couldn't get along, I wouldn't be sitting here. No, ma'am. So
as usual, you made me proud. I was like, go ahead. I enjoyed your interview, and you did not hold back on the things that you had said with Adam. And the fact saying to be able to come and still be there and share with the community.
And he stood and he stayed. And he stayed. He stayed a long time.
I heard because I heard the people gave you some question about excuse me, what happened to our question?
Right.
Yeah,
no, he
stayed.
stayed.
He's still here. He in the back.
Yep. And they went up to him. He milled around. He talked to people. No, he stayed. And his team was down there too. So they were all there. They stayed.
Good stuff.
All right.
Wait, hold on. 1 second before you leave. Before you leave, I just want to ask you, did you enjoy how it sounded? Over.
So it was not real good in the beginning, but it did get better.
Well, that was when I was asleep.
So that must have been when you were asleep.
Yeah, I was on my Tempur-Pedic, but I woke up.
Now, Jermaine, on a separate note, since I got you, I got to tell you this.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did somebody come to church? I mean, come to church, Lord. Somebody come to court.
Really?
And told me they came. They went to church with Jermaine right out.
See,
They thought that was gonna lighten their sentence.
You should have gave.
Like,
You should have gave him 90 years.
Jermaine in the morning. Like he's at church.
Are you serious? Oh,
I am
Say my
not
name.
kidding
Say
you.
my name. That's what Jermaine told him at church.
If I had Jermaine's number, I would have bust them out like I do people often when they tell me some story like they've been somewhere. I get on the phone right away and call the people, and then the people be down there looking. They know be looking at them like, "Why did you lie to me?"
Hey,
They
Judge.
was lucky.
Yeah, they was lucky.
Judge, I had an incident where the police were harassing the young men on the block. And I said, well, why are you guys over here? You were just over here yesterday. Well, call your alderman if you don't like it. Go get my phone. Hey, we're away. What's happening, man?
Oh my
And then the officer said, well, let me talk to him. No, you didn't think I had his number. Don't you have his number? You call him. Now get out from over here. Make sure you get their badge number. And he telling me everything that they ain't been back.
well, I just
Okay.
find it hilarious that somebody thought dropping
Yeah, I
Jermaine's
was like,
name.
boy.
Yeah, Jermaine
credit.
and all people
Hey,
that was gonna
Man,
be
that's gonna get
Whatever
you
you was accused of, you going to jail.
Yeah, you should have
They
went
got
to
the
jail.
act. No, I'm just kidding.
You should have went to jail.
Oh, that was a good one. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate the call this morning.
Have a great day.
You
All
too.
Say, yeah, using my
Oh,
name,
that
boy, you
is
gonna get
so
50 to
funny.
60 years.
I tell people, look now, it's a time and a place to use my name because it can get bad for you.
It's gonna get bad. You use mine. I'm telling you now.
You might
So you might have got in more trouble.
you might have got off. Tell myself, I tell people all the time, like, you gotta be careful telling people you know me.
Yeah.
Be careful.
All right.
I ain't gonna help you. We gotta go to break.
Yeah, we got
Well, I appreciate it. Okay. Seriously. Somebody else wanted to like get at me. Okay. Let me go to break. I'll be right back. I see all y'all messages. I'm gonna read them. Y'all cracking me up on this church stuff. I'll be right back, y'all. right, family, welcome back to the show. So let's get into some of the big ticket items that are out today by way of news. Before I get into the shutdown and, what does it mean in terms of when services are fully restored, furloughed workers coming back to work, that whole thing, let me take a moment to acknowledge the fact that it was announced this morning on many of the major outlets that the Reverend Jesse Jackson has been hospitalized. For folks that follow Reverend Jackson or have paid attention to the situation with his health over the years, you know that Reverend Jackson suffers from Parkinson's, and he has had some other complications in relationship to his health. So he was hospitalized this morning. The family put out a statement confirming that, in fact, yep, he is there. I listened to a number of people who have actually had an opportunity to talk to or see Reverend Jackson in the last several months, and people have talked about his health continuing to be in decline. They said right now he is under observation for progressive supranuclear palsy. Supranuclear palsy. I'm not sure how to say that middle word, but it is a neurodegenerative disease, and he has had it for more than a decade. Uh, and so maybe it's that and not Parkinson's that he had, but in either case, we know, and I remember. Oh, yeah. So he was initially diagnosed with Parkinson's, which he announced back in 2017 to supporters, but his diagnosis was confirmed to be progressive supranuclear palsy late last April. So that's what I knew. I thought I remembered that initially that they said that he had Parkinson's disease. He's been hospitalized a couple of times over the last several years, definitely during the whole COVID situation. And he actually had fallen in November of 2021 at Howard University while he was there for an engagement and had hit his head. And, so somebody just said that's the scientific name for Parkinson's. Okay. Thank you. So just keep him in prayer, keep the family in prayer. When we think about the iconic civil rights leaders of, our day, and the folks that have done so much, I appreciate the book that Abby Phillips has written about Jesse Jackson. For folks that are historians, some of the folks are saying it's probably one of the better done books about his life. And I'm glad he had an opportunity to see the book be published. And she actually, sat and talked with him for a lot of her content. So just so we are aware, please keep Jesse Jackson and his family in our prayers, because when you think about the heavy hitters of a certain ilk and age, Jesse is certainly one of the last remaining brothers and sisters of that period. And I'm not sure, but I think Jesse Jackson is like 80. He's 84 years old. He's 84 years old. So just wanted to make sure that people were aware of that. All right, so let me get into the government shutdown. People know that yesterday the shutdown officially ended. The bill that the Senate had done was sent over to the House. The House was called into session after some, debate back and forth. The bill passed. Nobody didn't, people didn't really think that it wouldn't pass. And it went to Donald Trump's desk late in the evening for him to sign to reopen the government. So right away, federal workers were notified that they needed to come back to work. Uh, People that were in charge of processing payments for programs that are dependent on government dollars, all being, ushered back into the doors to get this work done. Industries like airline and hospitality, these folks, they don't know how quickly they're going to bounce back. The number of flights that were impacted is in the thousands, and it's going to take people to ramp back up, get back up to speed. There is a bitter taste that's left in the mouth of a lot of people in relationship to the shutdown. There were 7 Democrats that voted with the Senate members for it. People were frustrated by that. So there will be some internal, fallout from that decision. But when we think about the folks that are impacted, federal workers, the questions: when will these people get back pay? When will they be able to return to work? A story in the New York Times talks about the fact that federal law requires that federal workers whose paychecks were paused during the shutdown be made whole. In the past, it has taken a week for unpaid workers to receive back pay, but it can vary by agency. And I know that I heard people doing interviews over the course of the shutdown who said in some cases it took them a couple of months to get all their money back. The Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, has said that air traffic controllers will receive the first 70% of their back pay within 24 to 48 hours of the government shutdown ending, but it is not clear if the other parts of the government will be on a similar schedule. And I'm trying to figure out, if I can give you 70% of your money, why can't I give you 100% of your money? What is that? That when I saw that was really interesting to me. You're going to get 70% of your money versus 100%. It is also unclear if some departments will take longer to make workers whole because of increased vacancies in agency payroll offices as a result of the Trump administration's downsizing. It's a lot of people not in place to be able to do this work. In the past, back pay arrived in one check, a lump sum, much higher than what employees would have received if they were paid on a normal schedule. Because of that, many will be taxed at a higher rate, an issue they will have to sort out with the IRS during the tax season. Because that's the other thing. If I'm sending you a bulk check to cover 2 missed paychecks, 3 missed paychecks, then the amount of tax on that puts you in a different taxing bracket for the purposes of that one paycheck. And so you can be hit pretty hard in a way that you wouldn't had you gotten those smaller increments. Somebody asked a question about the $10,000 bonus. Donald Trump is talking that we don't know how any of that works. He does not have the power of the purse in that way. So at this point, we'll see if any of those people get it, but it is an unfair payment. You can't penalize some people who said, I didn't have daycare, I didn't have gas money, I didn't have somebody to take care of my elderly parents that I normally would pay to do that, so I couldn't come because somebody else has a different lifestyle that affords them the ability to be able to come. I think one of the things that continues to be crystal clear as we have navigated our way through this whole process is what a vindictive and small and awful person Donald Trump can be when it comes to messing over people to get what he wants. I'm going to be crystal clear about that. When you do everything you can to leverage the situation by applying pressure to 42 million people who receive food assistance. And as I was listening to stories yesterday, military active duty, because I was going back and forth with some good old white boys on social media over the last several days as they tried to paint a picture about who receives government assistance and telling people, get off your behind, get off your blank, go to work, stop looking for a free handout. You're sorry, blank, blank, blank. And I was like, so you do know you're talking about military families, right? You do understand that these are people that are actively, in the military, but because of either where they live and they are stationed, what their housing expenses are, and everything that's going on, that some of those people still qualify for food share. You do know you're talking about people who get up and go to work every day, ignorant, that in a lot of cases look just like you. So the education that needed to be done around who is benefiting, from this, there were people all over the country that got impacted. Rural and suburban, inner city, major cities, urban cities, everybody got impacted. 1 in 8 Americans is eligible and receives some form of food benefit. That's just the reality. And so when you watch a president who is throwing lavish, expensive dinners while the people you were elected to serve are struggling and in food lines, pantry lines, trying to get a bag of chicken. Like, have you no shame? And you build your expansive ballroom and your gold lettering and all this nonsense. Have you no shame? If this had been up to Donald Trump, this would not have been resolved. Or it would have been resolved in a way that the Senate employed the nuclear option to just have 50 senators vote for a simple majority to vote for a passage, and shutting the Democrats completely out. So those voices wouldn't get heard. But there were there were Republicans who understand that this man ain't going to be here forever. And we start this mess right now, eventually it will be turned against us. And so they used, different tactics to try to get people across the finish line. But yesterday I went to Outreach Healthcare Center to a press conference after I left our live remote that U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin hosted. And Senator Baldwin had two women with her that were going to be directly impacted by a lot of what this fight was about, which was the increasing cost of health care. And there was a woman there who said, I've had cancer, stage 3. My monthly premium, because I'm an independent contractor, is $342 a month. Getting notification that these subsidies may go away and go up, my premiums have doubled and tripled. I can't pay for this anymore. But I may need help because I have cancer. The stories were crazy. And, I got a chance to ask the senator a question, and I appreciate her team because they had ended the questions when, I stood up and I was like, okay, I'm going to ask a question. And they had already said last question, but I was standing and I had raised my hand. And so I was cool. I was like, okay, no problem. But the senator's team saw that my hand went up and literally said, Michelle, you have a question. And the thing that I said, which is the frustration that I think a lot of Democrats felt who didn't support the 7 who decided to vote for passage of this bill, was in the last 15 years plus, have we ever seen any serious health care plan be offered by Republicans? And Senator Baldwin said no. We've seen them seriously try to figure out how to dismantle Obamacare. But in terms of offering up an alternative, because I wanted to know, had I missed something? Was there some behind the scenes discussions or negotiations that would make Democrats believe that we can trust these people? And what Senator Baldwin basically said is, we are at a point right now where discussions have been happening. They are hoping people are going to operate in good faith, and that, we may be able to move the needle in a way that we hadn't previously. I don't know. Because I just kept trying to, the point of my question, we made a deal with people who up until this point have never done anything to indicate that they gave a real care about coming up with a sustainable healthcare option and plan for American citizens. They've not done it. They've kicked that can down the road every year, every time. But they have to keep trying. And I respect that. It's just a deal I would have never made. And Senator Baldwin didn't vote for it, with the 7 colleagues who went along with it. I respected that. I appreciated that. But we got a real problem on our hands, y'all. I got to take a break. When we come back, I got callers on the line. I'll talk a little bit more about when we expect some of these things to fully get back online, because Head Start programs got to come back online. Think about that. There were people that had to figure out other options for Head Start. Let me take a break. I'll be right back.
Jackson. The Trump administration has rolled back multiple federal diversity initiatives.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. We got a couple of callers on the line. Let me get them in right away. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle, how you doing this
I'm
morning?
good. How are you?
All right, a couple questions. One, with Trump, um, to me, this whole situation sounds like a soap opera. I wasn't surprised that the Democrats were going to give in, whatever way. I don't know what the upside of that's going to be, how it's going to do for them in the future when it comes to voting or what. I think some even said they're not running anymore. Um, so, to me, it's all a distraction for things that's going on. It just, it got to the point where, if you remember, the Supreme Court said that President Trump can't get charged with any kind of crimes or stuff while he's in office acting as president. If I'm right on that?
Yep, you're right.
Right. So now, with that being said, um, what makes people think that he's going to leave the White House when it comes time to revoting? Because Congress is not following none of the laws now. I thought laws had to be made through legislators. Uh, Nothing is being enforced now. And another script is that when things go to the lower courts, they just pass it up to the higher courts, and then it's a done deal. So, everybody's putting this out. He'll be out in 3 or 4 years. The way it's going, he'll be even digging in deeper in 3 or 4 years. I don't know how that would be handled or what the process is, but there's no process being followed now, with this guy. So, and then the fear, he's putting fear in people. People scared to talk. People scared to say things. Everything he's doing is against the grain, and there's no consequences. So that's why he feels the way he feels. And not only the last thing I want to bring up is that this thing with Obama. Now, is it true, or in your opinion, that a lot of people that's in his base don't understand that this is an insurance? It's not Obama, that it was dubbed Obama by the media. And I don't know if prior to this, any other insurance program or help that was coming from the government was dubbed after the person that put it together, and that our people more angry, especially white people, more angry or Trump's base because it's got a black man's name to it rather than looking at the benefits of what it's providing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a political tactic. I went back and pulled it up. It was first said on the campaign trail by Mitt Romney, but there were healthcare lobbyists that were against it. A woman by the name of Jean Schultz Scott. She was the first person to actually take the name Affordable Care Act and start calling it Obamacare. And it was all done to you know, to scare people, to liken it, like here's this black man, boogeyman, who has introduced this health care, and to play into all of the stuff that goes with racism when you think about who Obama was. But yeah, no, Mitt Romney was the first person to actually use the term in a campaign speech, calling it Obamacare, and it was definitely meant to invoke all of the things that we know, happened as a result of it. And they convince people and talk people out of healthcare that's going to help them. We changed the law so that your child, because I remember when my son went to college at 18, the way the laws were written, my son had to come off my insurance when he turned 18. He had to come off. We changed all of that with this. Go ahead, son.
Let me ask you this. Isn't it the Democrats' job? And that's what I don't see with the Democrats. They don't push issues like the Republicans do. The Republicans will tell you a lie until you believe a lie. The Democrats don't, to me, take advantage of situations because it's all about education, and educating the public on what they're really going against. And then the other side of it, and it could be out there, maybe I'm not watching the right media or whatever, but what are some of Trump supporters saying now? Are they, when he first got office, a lot of people saying that they wanted to change their vote, this, that, that. But I'm not hearing anything from is this base still strong as it was when he first started? And then they always start calling him Big Donnie Deals. That's his gangster name, Big Donnie Deals.
No, why? Because most of his deals be raggedy.
Right.
But so right now he's at a 36% approval rating, which is the lowest that he's ever had. When people looked at who did they blame for the shutdown, the majority of people blame the Republicans, but it's only by about 4 to 5 percentage points. So he is losing some of his cachet with his base. He is losing some of that support. There were a number of interviews that were done with MAGA supporters, Trump supporters, who talked about how they had been hit and impacted. Is it enough and I think what we saw even in the midterms, we need to pay, not the midterms, this most recent election, even when Trump was signing the bill last night, he mentioned the midterms. And he said, I need y'all to remember this when it's time to, go vote, because if he loses his base of Republicans in Congress during the midterms, a lot of this gets shut down. Because now you got a congressional leader, leadership that will stop him and challenge him on things that he's doing. Right now, he's being given carte blanche to do whatever he wants to, because Republicans that are controlling Congress won't challenge him. They won't push back, even when he's stepping on their authority. They don't care. But so that's why last night, so he feels it. He would have never said last night, I hope y'all remember this during the midterms, if he is not seeing the data and hearing from his people that this shutdown was a major problem for y'all, for Republicans.
Now, one last question. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, one last question. If he does try to stay in office after the 3 years and don't leave, who's going to do something about it? What can be done about it?
So
is anything
it's against the law. I've walked through all, and I'll do it again, because I walked through, there were like 4 different scenarios about what happens if somebody tried to either stay in office. If he tried to get J.D. Vance to run for president, he ran for vice president, and then J.D. Vance stepped down, and then he could become president. There is no legal pathway for him to get in office. But the one thing, I just said it in a class I was in last night, and we know it to be true. Our laws are only as good as the people who have to enforce them. So I honestly, God, I can tell you it's illegal, but I can't tell you what these people will or won't do. And the way he's beginning to weaponize the military and got his top administrative officials living in military housing, protected behind these military bases, is crazy. What we're seeing happening right in front of our face, that his chief strategist, Stephen Miller, they hiding out now, living on the base in housing meant for soldiers. So honest to God, I'm not going to pretend to tell people. I can't tell you what people will do. I know what the law says can't happen, but right. I can't tell you what people won't do.
Well, I hope that even with the Supreme Court, I hope whoever gets in next to change some things up. I think Supreme Court people shouldn't be in there forever. They should have a term just like everybody else. I think a lot of changes need to be made. But I just can't, like I said, to me, this is like a soap opera, and you can almost predict the end. And if somebody's going to give in, it was going to be us. But like I said, the Democrats need to, step their game up and spend the money they need to get the word out and start educating some of these people so they can really see the effects of what this man is doing. Because I think he's setting up for himself, just like with the tearing down of the East Wing or whatever. And there's a possibility that he's building a fallout shelter under there. If he goes in there, but it probably won't be built by the time the next election gets up. But, and you know what, last note, Trump to me seems like he's good at knowing when to throw in a distraction. Even if it's something silly, he's going to get the media attention by saying something to take you off point. Because the next thing is with this lady, when she's sworn in, I'm looking to see how that's going to be played out with the Epstein files. I want to see how that's going to play out. And then my point on that is this. If they don't mind him walking down the street, grabbing a woman on the rug, why would they be so concerned if he had a young lady sitting in his lap, his base? Now, I know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. But why are they making such a big issue? Because it's not going to change nothing. I don't think nobody's going to do anything about it. They'll talk about it, but then it'll be old news in a few days a week or whatever,
No, you're right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. Many of the points that you raised are valid. When Trump was on the campaign trail, Republicans were foaming at the mouth talking about these Epstein files. They gonna review them. They got them, Pam Bondi. I got them on my desk. We going through them, calling for prosecutions. They was, hot and heavy. Then some of them started seeing what was in them files. And Trump's name is littered all throughout Epstein's documents, to the point that Epstein even says after they done fell out, oh, I could take them down.
See,
I got enough stuff on them. I could take them down. So now all of a sudden, there's nothing to see here. And then I'm coming, Jermaine.
Right,
but then he calls an emergency meeting in the room that's designed to talk about war strategy, global war, international war, where our most elite elected officials, military personnel convene to strategize about war. Where we talking about where, we gonna go after Osama bin Laden, or we getting ready to go after this regime. This is where he convened people yesterday to talk about them damn Epstein files. Kash Patel, Bondi, Lauren, what's her name from Congress? Like, you bringing these people together because he's trying to convince her, this Republican female, from going, being one of the people to vote to go after these files being released. They know it's damning. They know it's damaging. But we'll talk about how much damage can really be done. But go ahead, Jack.
So question. So did any other Democrats know before this election what was in those Epstein files?
So yes, to some extent.
So
yes
why
and no,
didn't
not
they
all
use
of it. They didn't have all of it. And I think, one of the things with the Democrats is people try to be respectful of process, leaking information, putting stuff out there that they not, haven't been authorized to share. Like Republicans, Trump, they'll leak stuff on you in a minute.
Yeah, but
they'll tear your tail up in a minute.
But what I don't get is,
and that's one of the questions. Like, so why did y'all bring some stuff out?
Like,
this
stuff is damnable information.
I think, I can't even begin. I know they always worry about the appearance of bias. And if we, wrongfully going after somebody and what that looks like in the media, like, oh, the Democrats are abusing their power to try to trip up Trump, entrap him. And like the Democrats are very, very worried about the optics of it all. And I actually use that word quite a bit. They worried about, what will the public perception be if we're the people delivering this information, and in a way, but make no mistake though, they didn't have control of these houses. Biden was the president, but he didn't have control of Congress.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if you realize that the Republicans is not playing by the rules and they are not playing fair, and if you really care about the people and who's leading the people, why wouldn't you come out and say, hey, it's some damnable information that's in these files that even just putting a little bit out before he got in office that would have kind of shifted or probably changed some of the people's mind? But I don't understand, like, you see how they plan, because even with the commercials, well, Kamala Harris is for them and they. Donald Trump is for you.
Right.
But nobody really jumped on that and said, well, who is the you?
No, so number one, it's inferred. Everybody know the you is for white people. The you, and black people, some silly black people thought it meant them too, but it didn't. But the you was for white people. And Kamala was for all of the colored folks, the black, brown, and other. And that was the subtle dog whistles, racist, stuff that was happening. But I guess this is my thing too, because, and even with the last caller. So first of all Democrats did not fold in the Senate. 7 did. Out of 40 something. 7 folded. So when we say the Democrats folded, that's like saying all black people is criminals because you got some black folks that commit crime. We're not all criminals. We don't all ride with it. We don't all support it. So to even be able to know how we talk about it, because in my frustration, we can then begin to say the Democrats ain't yeah. But people could do that about black folks, because some people done committed some crimes. Black folks ain't nothing. We need to be scared of black folks. And the same applies in the political realm. The majority, the overwhelming majority, 80% of Democrats did not support this bill. So I am going to ask people to think about being balanced in how you talk about it, because it wasn't all of them. The overwhelming majority held the line. They fought to the end. We all know in our own community, you can't always get everybody to get on board. And that's the one thing about the Democratic Party. These are people that believe in folks having their own opinion and their own mind. In the Republican Party, you are asked to stop being a thinker and just do what you are told. You are asked to toe the party line, even at your own detriment. Even though your own children get ready to not have health care, and your mouth is raggedy, and you can't eat, and you can't get a decent job, but you're white and you're great and you're better than everybody else, please hold the line. I remember in the Wisconsin State Capitol when they wanted to form a women's caucus that was going to work across party lines. Republican women, Democratic women, because as women, there are some things we have in common, no matter what side of the political aisle you fall on. Women's health care. There are things we have in common. The Republican men told the Republican women, y'all better not join that caucus. And they didn't. So we have no women's caucus in the state capitol, because Republicans do everything they can to control their people, to control the messaging, and they punish them severely when they step out of line. Now, while that sounds like a great strategy for winning elections and for getting your way, morally, it's one of the things that a lot of Democrats will tell you, man, I can't ride with that. Jermaine is entitled to his opinion just like I'm entitled to mine. Now, they got to find the balance between we're going to have to stop being individuals for a minute to work collectively to move an agenda. But what does that look like? So that's the problem with the Democratic Party, is we literally are a party that's a big tent. Everybody can come in. And when you know what happens when you let everybody come in, they come in with their own agendas, their own strategy, their own way of doing things. And it's hard to wrangle all that in. But I'm going to be honest. If I had to be somewhere, I'd rather be and connected with people that respect other people's positions, that allow, room for diversity and differences and fights and discussion, versus being in an oppressive party like the Republican Party, who will beat you down and primary you and dog you if you don't do what they say. Now, somebody said, Michelle, that's not fair. Don't act like Democrats haven't done the same, and said, don't talk to people across the aisle. And to all the new electives that are coming in, that's what they ran. Yes, look, I'm not being pie in the sky. I frequently talk about Democrats do a bunch of stuff that's messed up. But that's not the overall everyday MO of the party. They do it, but it's not the modus operandi. That's the modus operandi of the Republican Party. The Dems do it, but it's selective, as needed, or when they being messed up. So no, I've never tried to create a image that the Democrats don't do jacked up stuff. They do, and I talk about it. But it's not the way we live every day. This is how Republicans live every day. I got to take a break. I'll be right back.
The Trump administration has rolled back multiple federal diversity initiatives, and a new study suggests the podcast industry still has
All right, family, welcome back. So even though I took a detour on this the whole government shutdown, let me just say a couple quick things, and then I want to go back though and address this piece about Democrats and why not get these files out earlier. There had been work being done as far back as 2019 to try to get these Jeffrey Epstein files released. Debbie Wasserman Schultz down in Florida. Elijah Cummings actually held a committee meeting. People were trying to get this information out and were getting resistance because this was happening under the first Trump administration during Alex Acosta's reign. And, so there was a lot of back and forth. Then when Biden and them come in, you got to think about Biden comes in during COVID. The country is in free fall. Everything is shuttered, about to be shuttered, people dying everywhere. So this is not the priority necessarily in terms of, we didn't set foot in the Capitol for like almost 2 years in terms of a full-fledged staff going to work every day. So, you got to put some of this stuff in perspective when you talk about, why it's taking so long to get here. But I'm just going to encourage people to understand we're here now. We're here now, and we need to get to the bottom of what was going on. Last quick, somebody else had hit me up, and they said, so what were you getting ready to say about Head Start? Depending on, some states were able to keep their Head Start locations open because they use state money. Other states or other places were not able to do that. It could take up to 2 weeks to get some of these centers back operational after not having the government funding. So that is something that we definitely will be watching. But there are a lot of different moving parts to this whole thing that we will just have to kind of play it by ear to see how long it takes for some of these things to come back online. I'm telling people, you're going to want to reach out to departments, follow their websites, look for updates, everything from the park systems to the Smithsonian Institute, all these different things, museums. Sometimes it can be as little as 4 days. Sometimes it can take longer because staffing is also an issue. So I just want to say, yes, technically the government is open, but that does not mean services will be back in place immediately. And to whatever service you need, to find that website or to get a phone number so that you can keep up with those departments to see how long it takes to get things back up and moving for you. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Greetings.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. I want to first say that I need to call back to that I probably won't be able to today to Keith's show.
Yes.
That I put Jermaine on there. That I was told I was kind of loud the last week when I called about some of my critiques about the police violating the federal order and not being accountable for their actions. And I want to be accountable for my actions and how I represent, because something this show has said a lot of times that you got steady listeners. When one of them called me and was telling me I was loud. So I just want to be accountable for that.
Okay.
And speak to something Jermaine was saying about the Democrats, is that a lot of times we forget that Trump came from the Democratic machine. His father manipulated the Democratic machine to get property in New York. And he was Democratic leaning for the most part. And he was flopped back and forth. And so one of the things that's not being said is Democrats don't want this stuff to come out because they are just as guilty with behavior. So as they're pointing at Trump, some of them are going to get hit too, because they was down with Epstein.
And again, I think we got to be careful how we frame it, because as I just said, in 2019, I got Democrats calling for the release of, these for investigations, for release of the files. So
what I'm saying
when we
is
do a blanket statement like the Democrats don't want it to come out. No, that's not true. There are definitely Democrats that want it to come out. There are some that don't.
And what I'm saying, as a party, They don't want major people because if I remember correctly, Clinton's pictures with Clinton with him
Right.
and other individuals, and so those are leaders of the party. So that means when I say it, I'm speaking of it that the party, the party that makes the party that makes the decision, the executive decisions for the party, is not in their best interest for those things to come out. Even though it may be members, like you said, in the Democrats, it's not about that. I remember seeing a video of Roger Stone because a lot of people don't know that he was 20. So when people talk about Elon Musk and, having these 18 and 19-year-olds do his dirty work, well, during Nixon, Roger Stone was doing the dirty work for the president at 20. And he talks about later on how doing things immoral is not against the law. He doesn't violate the law, even though we know that's not true. But he was making it clear he doesn't violate the law, but being immoral isn't against the law. And then the last thing I want to mention, because history teaches us so much about the Affordable Health Care Act, is that many of us don't know and we need to, is about a brother named Osinimos. He was an enslaved African person that actually brought the technology of inoculation, which is the foundation for why we have vaccinations, which inoculation is not the same as vaccination, but that technology came from that. And so in the 1720, when they had a smallpox epidemic in Boston, and it was decimating people, the slaver recognized that this enslaved young man or a young adult, he wasn't afraid because they didn't want to mess around with people with smallpox because they didn't understand it. And he was confident, and he violated law by teaching Osinimos English so he can learn the Bible. So he asked him, "Why aren't you afraid?" He said, in my village, when you had this disease, they would take a little bit of the pus that come out of you, cut you open and put it on. And if you lived, you could never be harmed by this disease again. That right there was unbelievable. So he tested it himself out on other enslaved people. And it turned out to be true. Him and another slaver tested out on their own children. And then this is where the first independent news, because we're talking about the British. So this is how history relates today from vaccination and news. The first fake news was how they came out with their research that if you give somebody a little bit of the thing that kills people, that a certain amount of people will be able to overcome the virus and actually live. The first independent paper in American history was saying nothing coming out of an African is going to save your life. This is crazy that this is going to save American lives. And luckily, Benjamin Franklin didn't listen to that. And he was able to convince General George Washington, and he inoculated his troops. And historians have debated that if those troops wasn't inoculated, it's possible that he wouldn't have been successful. And that comes from a brother. Again, fake news, just because you black, and the fact that it was an African brother that actually brought inoculation. And the beauty of that story to me is that when he was kidnapped from Africa, he was a child. So even though he went through enslavement, the slaver was a main person that was dealing with the trials of killing white women for being witches and all of that. He's seen all of that. The parishioners bought him. He was kidnapped. He was bought by the parishioners that gave to the slaver who was a pastor. The thing is that he remembered this tradition from Africa, even though he came here as enslaved. And that's what we have to remember, is that with all the negativity we got going on, we have to remember those things that root us and connect us to the supreme being and protect us. I appreciate you giving me this time, sis.
No problem. Thank you, bro. As always, informational. One of the things I will just say, that piece about Trump and whether or not he was a Democrat. Trump was a registered Democrat for 8 years, okay, in his whole adult life. And that was definitely, that was in the early 2000s. In terms of New York City voter records, that literally was the time period that he was, said to be connected to the Democrats, but he didn't have any official voting record for the most part as a grown adult. Not Republican or Democrat. He wasn't nowhere voting for nobody. It's funny because I can trace my voting record back for since I turned 18 years old, and there is no ability to trace a lot of that back. So Trump was just for Trump, as far as I'm concerned. And whatever was popping back then, that's where he was landed. And in the city that you lived in, most of them people tended to lean more blue. So I just had to say that piece because we you just can't lay all that at our feet about Trump. Let me go to the phone line. Hey caller, what's happening? Hello?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, what's happening, Rick? How you doing this morning?
Germany is full of sunshine,
Hey, all right now.
at least where I am in Bavaria. I just called in to chime in on what your comments on the Epstein files and Trump trying to avoid conversation and legal ramifications. You're not going to shame Trump out of office. Number one. Number two, it's going to be hard to find people to prosecute Trump at this stage of the game while he's president and maybe even after. And I doubt very many of those girls, even if let's say hypothetically that Trump slept with 20 girls and all of them were 16 or 17 years of age, it would be hard to find 4 of them who would be willing to go to court to prosecute Trump. I'm done, sis.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the call. And let me just do this because there are a number of people so Michelle, are there statutes of limitations even on pedophilia, sexual assault and that kind of thing? And I would tell people it depends on the states, because these would not be federal cases. These would be state cases, in some cases, civil cases. Age of the victim at the time of the crimes being committed. So some of these people in some states, you got until you're 30 years old to file some of these cases. Otherwise you're not able to go back and file. So there would be a statute of limitations in that regard. There are all kinds of different rules that apply. So depending on where they were in the country or the world for that matter, when these things were being alleged to have happened. So that makes prosecution, difficult, if in fact not null and void, because most of these young people, these women are now over 30, depending on the states that, again, what their state laws say. The other aspect of it is there's some elements of some of these investigations that if they wound their way through Congress, Trump could actually have to sign off on some of this stuff himself. It's not going to happen. So I think this is more about public opinion and getting the truth out in that way. I don't think that anybody should realistically expect that anybody will be charged with a crime, that anybody will go to jail, particularly, given the DOJ and the type of people we have leading our government right now. None of that's about to happen. This literally is for information purposes only. There is nobody that's getting ready to do no time, even if everything they say is true, and that there is all kinds of seedy, unsavory, illegal sexual activity between these grown behind men and these young teenage girls. Ain't nobody going to jail for it. Not at this stage in the game. It literally will be about shaming people. What did Rick say? You trying to shame somebody who has no shame. But the one thing I think may be a little bit different is that it's one thing for folks to say you was going after grown women. It's another thing for folks to say you was going sexually after children. Now that is a concern. I don't think anybody wants to be seen in the pedophilia light. and that she was having sex with children. I don't think anybody wants that drama. But no, the thing I understand as we watch this whole thing play out is that this is strictly for information. That's it. I don't expect any prosecutions. I don't expect any accountability for real. We look at what happened with Prince Andrew and his brother, them forcing him to step down. And, I think it was some talk about he had to move out the big castle he was in. And now he's living on one of the little smaller little chalets on the king's property, stripping him of his military and royal, status, that kind of stuff. But I don't even know if we'll see that much happen over here in the United States, even if everything pans out to be true. The one thing, though, that I do hope that this does, because all this preferential treatment that's being given to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's, groomer and solicitor, and, her own version of a pimp, going after these girls and bringing them into the fold. She was the one out recruiting on his behalf to get these babies, caught up in this nonsense. Everybody has been saying a whistleblower has come out. She's been given preferential treatment. She is getting special meals. She is able to have a computer access when visitors come. They meet in special rooms that's not available to everybody else. Like somebody is giving Jamie Raskin, remember Congress Jamie Raskin, them all this information that this woman's getting preferential treatment. She's been trying to say, I'm looking for my sentence to be pardoned, commuted, whatever you got to do to get me out of here on her 20-year bid. And no, the president didn't do anything. I didn't see anything. But many of the statements in Jeffrey Epstein's emails and papers in communication with Ghislaine Maxwell indicates she's telling a bold-faced tale. Oh, no, you lying, chick. It's right here in the exchanges back and forth between y'all. You said Trump had never been there. Here goes clear information of you and Epstein talking about he was there. So hopefully that will be used to stop her from getting any additional special and preferential treatment. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump got the final say on what happens to Ghislaine Maxwell. If he decides to let this chick off the hook, just like that, she's let off the hook on federal charges. I don't know what state charges she may have incurred, but just like that, she is let off the hook. So make no mistake, while there's a bunch of hoopla, we still want to see, not because I watched it, we still want to see them files. Run me them files. We need to know what's in them files. You gonna know, but it's just for personal edification. It is not for prosecution purposes. Nobody's getting ready to lose their job or their status because you see your boy who told everybody to call you. You see your boy. Oh, I can't wait to hear this show.
Oh, I got some words for you, brother.
He come here trying to look all innocent. What are you talking about?
The phone lines lit up. The phone lines lit up after you said
yeah, he come in looking all jipper this morning. Like,
just make sure you call the station.
Oh, it lit. Hey, as soon as he said it, was like bing, 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 bing. I said, this dude right
called
here.
Jermaine to tell him what a good time y'all having.
And they called too and told me how much of a great time they had. I said, boy, really?
Does any of that seem very Christian to you?
No, but I tell you what did when you started to sing, Doc. I went outside and got my keyboard and came in here and hooked it up. So I was playing along when you was doing the benediction.
Put me in the right key.
All I know is when he stood up, I was dying. Because they had sat down and sang their little song. And then he did that ear.
What was that? What song was that? Not Friendship with Jesus. It was
What was y'all singing?
I don't know.
No, wait, no, y'all song I Will Trust.
I will trust. Yeah.
That's C.L. Franklin.
Doc, I started picking.
We hear you laughing, Clark.
What did you sing, Keith? I missed him.
No, he started singing
because he started singing. Yeah, after they sung that first song.
Yeah, we come this far by faith.
Yeah, I'm just like, what gospel hour is this? That's happening right now?
Doc, it was a Baptist convention. I was in here like
it started off because I did kind because I don't know why y'all don't know anything about Dr. Watts. When I said, I love the Lord, he heard my cry.
Yeah, because we ain't Baptist.
I heard you trying to kick that one off.
Nobody joined them. They didn't know it.
Too many coaches.
Too many coaches.
I didn't know that one.
Too many coaching folks was in the building.
Oh, but then
I ain't know none of it. So
did you hear Alicia at the end? Moultrie.
Oh, she can sing.
What did she say?
The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. Yeah, she got a beautiful voice.
Her voice is gorgeous.
Jesus, I would love to work with her,
That
man.
moved people, man.
Man, I would love to work with her. You wasn't here.
Your segment, or at the end of her segment?
The last segment.
Hey, Debo, you just hear
I think I might have.
She said, "Where was I at?" I said, "Well, you wasn't here with me."
Well, woman, you wasn't here with me.
That's for sure.
But you did text me, so you weren't listening.
The rapture.
You know, when I was interviewing Michelle, and I said, "Look, I said, not if you rapture." I didn't know yesterday was T's birthday.
Yeah,
that still didn't justify him down there hugging all up and squeezing all up on my wife.
Oh, was he?
Get your hands off my wife, woman.
You said that?
I turned to Pastor Locke and said, every day I got to prove my love.
I heard that. So your wife don't get fired to somebody else.
Until somebody else pay attention to him. Then all of a sudden,
I'm going to tell you, for future reference, that spot that we were sitting in on the side, it was hard to hear.
Because I think the speakers.
Yeah, it was just hard. So we didn't know. Yeah, you could have been saying Michelle was a ratchet mother. I ain't heard none of it. Okay. What'd you say? What'd you say you did?
Oh, boy.
You didn't hear it, did you?
You know what?
And we know you're not one to take other people's word for it.
I'm going to get out the way. I'm just going to leave and get out the way. Yeah, I'm going to leave.
You know, I was going to do it, but if I
can I end my show and then you start your show?
No.
Wow.
Now she.
Another sound.
No, that's my favorite child.
I am sick of that.
You know.
We back on Mike policy.
Mike policy.
Absolutely.
You ain't been on Mike policy. All of a sudden now.
Who was that? We said Mike policy. They were like, who was that? They work here now? Oh, yeah. Mike policy. I ain't met him.
Who is Mike policy? When did he start with WNOB?
Don't make me sound dumb. I ain't say that.
It did happen. That's all I can say.
I ain't say that.
Shit, don't make me sound dumb.
You know, when you send a text on
He's like, we got somebody else new working here now.
Mike policy? Who that?
I ain't met him yet. Who is he?
Guys.
No, Michelle. Mike
I'm ending the
policy.
show.
Guys, it's an early day now.
I'm ending the show.
Oh, that's right. We got Frazier.
See?
Yeah,
Family, y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. I will get that list of food places. I had a couple of corrections, so I'm going to just put it out on Monday where you can go to get food for Thanksgiving. And I will talk to y'all probably on Keith Show. I got to go. Peace.